bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? Fade to Black. I'm going to get through it. Yeah. We're back. We made it back from the desert. I've lost my pipes. I'll get through the show. Show must go on. It's not that big of a deal. It's Fade to Black. Monday, June 6th. 158 days into the new year. 206 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. I'd like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. I'm your so humble host, Jimmy Church. What's cracking, everybody? We made it. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet, I am your oh so humble host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, I'm going to do this. Got to. Tonight is a special Contact in the Desert report with me. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to give you my play-by-play rundown of the weekend's events. It was absolutely amazing. Tomorrow night, we're going to have James Gilliland here. It's going to be cool. Finally got James on the show. Then Wednesday night, Holly Cook is going to be here. Thursday night, a normal, back in the saddle, Fader night with John Rappaport. The call-in number is 323-825-5045. Now, you can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. And that's easy, at JChurchRadio. Facebook, YouTube, everything is Fade to Black, JChurch Radio. You know what to do. Go follow, like, and subscribe. Get it done. The sandbox is hashtag F2B. All right, and that's where everybody is hanging out like they do every night. I know that a lot of the Fadernauts are en route. You know, they're traveling back home after the weekend. And so there you go. So we'll miss you. They're probably listening. We'll see who. And if you are listening en route, I just saw Allison popped in, and I know they're on the road back to Indianapolis and Colo. But if you're en route, if you're in an airport somewhere and listening to the show, tweet in, let us know where you're at, and let us know that you are safe. Okay, so the rundown tonight, I am going to plow through the weekend. We have some really cool photos and images and stuff like that, so we're going to go through that. And Rita, I'm going to say this really quick, too, as well. She was armed with a camera all weekend, but there was so much stuff that was going on we've got some really cool images. We're going to share that. But the Fadernauts were taking so many pictures, too, as well. So as those come in, we'll share those with everybody. It was just amazing. So what we have is what I'm saying. What we have, we're going to share with you. And we have a bunch, okay? Now, it was a crazy weekend. I'm going to start this off first with everybody. I have to thank Paul Andrews and Victoria and Crystal and Greg and Matt and everybody else out at Contact in the Desert in Joshua Tree for putting on not only a world-class, first-class event, but you need to understand something, everybody. This thing has turned into one of the biggest, insane, wonderful events in the entire world. When you have that many, when I say thousands, when you have an event that is that big, that has grown to something even bigger, and to manage that and to control it and make sure that it not only goes off without a hitch, but that everybody there has such a great time and gets fed and clothed and housed, and everything goes off like it does. My hats are off to you, and I have to thank everybody there. The Fadernauts, Rita, myself, all the attendees, the speakers. It was just a great weekend. But that event is huge. I cannot put it into words. I cannot. I have attended not only in ufology and the paranormal and stuff, but I have attended some of the biggest events that you can have. AES, NAM, Consumer, the CES in Las Vegas. You know, these events with, hundreds of thousands of people. And they're all good. And this thing, Contact in the Desert, nothing compares to it. So next year, if you have not been to Contact in the Desert, that is the one thing all year long. Now, the events that we do all year, those are great conferences. But there's something about Contact in the Desert. It's on 400 acres and everything else. Now, so that being said, thank you, Paul, Victoria, Crystal, Greg, Matt, for all of your help this weekend. All right, so let's get that out of the way. That's done. There were some things that happened this weekend. I cannot express the way that I am stunned. So I'm going to say this first, and then I will describe later on in the show exactly what went down. Okay? But, and this is no joke, there were UFO sightings, things in the sky, all weekend long. And they were putting on a show for us. And we witnessed this ourselves. Now, I finally, and so was Rita, we are now the crazy people. I'm now one of them. And Richard Dolan and Mike Barra and a few other friends went through it again last night. And I got to tell you, the things that we saw in the sky, not only, us, but there were thousands of people there. And there was craziness that went down. There was a documentary film crew there that caught it. And so that's, that'll be released soon. But all of the images and people taking pictures and video and everything else, it went down. And I will cover that, and I will do it. I'm just going to tell it like it happened. And as crazy as it's going to sound, when I get a phone call, when I get somebody that comes in and says, hey, man, I saw something last night, and it looked like this, and it did this, and it did this in the sky. Well, I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to be that guy. And I have to tell you, I saw it with my own eyes. And it was, I just can't, bizarre is all I've been saying all weekend. And we're going to go into that. So now, next thing, I've got everything kind of broken down here. And so we're going to do that. But if you attended, I'm going to open up the phone lines only to people that attended Contact in the Desert. I'll take your calls. Everything else, please hold off till tomorrow night, and I'll take your calls. But if you attended Contact in the Desert, and certainly if you saw, if you were witness to some of the events that happened in the skies over the last 3 days at Contact in the Desert, we would love to hear from you too, because that was absolutely extraordinary. It was some Steven Spielberg stuff that went down in the skies. I cannot explain it, but if you witnessed it, call 323-825-5045, because that was absolutely extraordinary. Now, we'll get to that. Next, just let me say this really quick. I'm going to get this out of the way. Life Change Tea and our sponsors got us through the weekend. It took everything that we had to get through, and the energy, and making sure that we were correct inside of our bodies. Life Change Tea, getthetea.com, supplements in hand, got us through the weekend. 4 extraordinary nights in a row, 4 full days, 12, 14, 16-hour days, 3 and 4 hours of sleep, and got through the weekend. Go and support the show at getthetea.com. Use the promo code Jimmy. Also, and this was really cool, Studio Dome, their systems were all over Contact in the Desert. It seemed like everywhere we went, not only our booth that we had there, and that was really cool too, by the way. We had a really cool booth. Surround sound, Studio Dome everywhere, and that was just totally awesome. Get your own Studio Dome surround sound stereo system right now at studiodome.com. Click on the banners and get yourself the system. JCRTWS is the promo code. All right, now that I got that out of the way, the Roswell Festival is coming up. And that's June 30th through July 3rd. We will be in Roswell. We're going to be broadcasting from the museum on Friday night, and very excited about that. Everything that you need to know is over at jimmychurchradio.com. And then the Awareness Life Expo, Crown Plaza Hotel in Sacramento. And that is August 13th and 14th up in Sacramento. I was just thinking. And there's a couple of other events now that have been added to the calendar, and we will get that updated and as the week develops. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Also, this Friday at 10 p.m. after Ancient Aliens on History Channel, we will this show that we did last year. Is airing and is premiering on History Channel. It's called Time Beings, The Conspiracies of Time Travel. Yeah, you've got to check this out. So this will be this Friday. It is premiering, and this is a special put on by History Channel. So check that out, and it's really cool. I think they did a great job on it, and that airs this Friday. With that, let's get the other stuff out of the way before I start to ramble here. Today, Steve Vai is 56 years old. Robert Englund is 69. Yeah, Freddie. Tom Araya of Slayer is 55, and Paul Giamatti today is 49. Have you guys seen the show Billions? Paul Giamatti. I think it's on HBO. Amazing. The season just ended. On this day in history, in 1949, George Orwell's 1984 was published. And our fader fact, the poorest 5% of the people in the United States, the poorest 5% of the people in the U.S. are still richer than 68% of the rest of the world. How's that for a fader fact? All right, tonight is a special Contact in the Desert report that I'm going to do. I'm going to break it down. Tomorrow night, James Gilliland is going to be here. ESETI. And then Wednesday night, Holly Cook. And you're not going to want to miss that show. Thursday night is another fader night. And with John Rappaport and his No More Fake newsroom. Follow us on Twitter tonight at JChurchRadio. I'm kind of peeking over here. It looks like everybody is kind of checking in. Hashtag F2B is what you want to do for the sandbox. All right. I want to start off with this. We were gone for 4 days, right? Actually 5, but let's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we got back today. So 4.5, and we'll call it 5 days. We literally got back 3 hours ago. We just got back. And so I was, Rita and I were in the desert this morning. And so we had checked out. We checked out. And there was a little bit of contact with Facebook, a couple of tweets over the weekend, but no news. We were staying on campus at Contact in the Desert at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center. And so we, the cottage that we were in, no TV. I'm cool with that. But no TV, no cable, no direct TV, right? No TV, no news, no nothing. And I don't know how this happened, but I didn't check in on the news on the internet on my phone. Didn't do it. I got the report from somebody on Friday night that Muhammad Ali had passed. And I didn't check in. I didn't go to any websites. I didn't even, with that news, I didn't go. I didn't check in, right? So I get back today after no news and turn on the TV, and CNN pops up over at the house. And it was all this Trump drama, and I barely listened because I found myself not caring. I didn't care about Trump. I didn't care about what the media was saying about him or anything else. It was amazing how much I didn't care. Now, and the frightening part about all of that is that it's important stuff, and it matters to our country and the rest of the world what is happening in this election cycle. It is so important. I get that. But I didn't care. It sounded ridiculous to me. It didn't sound important. The news that CNN was reporting, what they think is important, it just didn't, it didn't grab me. It didn't make me spin around and go, holy crap. Wow, that's going down? No. What I was hearing just didn't matter. Trump said this, Trump said that, and that, and Hillary this, and attacking Trump, and blah, 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 blah. It was crazy how juvenile and stupid and unimportant it all was. The stuff that they were reporting as news was dumb. And it was shocking. And the rest of the world, seriously, that depends on us for not only food and exports and money and imports and stuff that they're selling and maybe even protection and other things. We're so important. We live together on this planet, right? They must be looking back at us right now, scratching their heads, because all of the integrity and intelligence and and economics and everything that they may look up to us for right now, it ain't there. Trump and this racist stuff. And I don't, look, I don't do politics. But I'll report on the stupidness of what's going on both sides of the aisle. And I'm listening to CNN, and after coming back from Joshua Tree, where people are there for knowledge and enlightenment, and they're just, everybody is having such a good time and just sharing, and it was just an amazing to have that many people converge on Joshua Tree. And the things that, the 4 days, 5 days, I didn't have one person, not one, out of the thousands of people that I was around, mention Trump or Hillary or Washington or the economy or ISIS or anything. It just, and then you come back into this real world matrix dome that we're in, and I'm listening to this, and it was just the stupidest stuff I could ever imagine being on television. It's incredible. I could really live without all of it, but we can't. I just don't get it. I don't know what we can do to change, but we have to. We really do. That is one nauseating situation that is not only going down in Washington, but across this country of ours. I don't know what to do. But we have to do something together. We have to join hands and sing Kumbaya, because that was a real eye opener for me. And for CNN to act, it's like acting. For CNN, I didn't go to any other networks. CNN just happens to be in the way today. But to act like this is important to all of us, and it's not. It's absolutely not. And the news, and this is what I was thinking. Now, just go with me on this. Honestly, the media and CNN, they could change the direction and the tonality of this election and how Trump and Hillary and all of their staff and everything else and is reacting and spreading this message. If they just didn't report on it, and if they took another view, but they don't. They could literally save all of this and maybe force these two candidates to, and I'm saying two because it looks like it's going to be Hillary, it looks like it's going to be Trump. Who's that other guy running? Really? Bernie, whatever his name is. To force another dialogue. But they don't. They don't take responsibility, and they don't step up. I'm telling you right now, if they said what I just said, that it's stupid, that it's just dumb, and it doesn't mean anything, then maybe we would get something going. Because it's really the truth. And by them handling things like they do, it's like they're condoning this kind of behavior. And it's just embarrassing for all of us as Americans. So now that's my take. That's my little rant. You go and you escape for 4 days and you get away from all of this and the mucky muck, and you're out in the desert and you're chasing UFOs in the sky and you're having just so much fun and just, that there's something else out there. And you go and you do that and you hang out with friends and you're barbecuing and drinking and eating and sleeping and just getting it on for 4 to 5 days. And you come back to this mucky muck and you just realize there's something more important than what's going on right now. And of all things, and when you say that, of all the things that are going right now, it's an election. And it just doesn't matter. Not as long as it's these two going at each other like this in this kind of fashion. It's just amazing. So tonight, I'm going to continue the disconnect. I'm going to do it. We are just going to talk about the wonderful weekend that went down. And we're going to, when I get back after this break, we're going to start with Thursday night at the Joshua Tree Saloon. And we're going to go straight through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, last night. Oh, my goodness. Now, this is next. It's good to be a Fadernot, isn't it? Yeah, man. The Fadernauts that were in attendance at CITD, they didn't have one. They didn't have two. They didn't have three. They had 4 amazing days and nights to remember. I'm going to go through this for all of you. We posted some pictures and we talked a little bit about it. But trust me on this, you have no clue. And next year at CITD, or any event that we do with the Fadernauts, you're going to want to be there. Because what I'm about to spring out on you for the rest of the evening, what we did this weekend, it's one of those things that you're going to say, church, it didn't happen. That's BS. We have witnesses. And it was an absolute extraordinary weekend. I want to thank everybody that not only is listening right now, but not only the Fadernauts, but Rita and I walked around from event to event. We worked all weekend. And we did not take one step without having somebody come up to us and say that they love the show. We had people from Hong Kong and Australia and Germany and the UK, all over the United States. Every city, every state came up to us all weekend long. That part was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. I just cannot believe we are, that Fade to Black has come to this point. But everybody that came up, trust me, it was humbling and it was wonderful. And to get that kind of recognition and thanks just means that we're on target and it's all good. So I want to thank everybody that did that all weekend long. I'm going to say this. My wife, Rita, is a bleeping rock star. And she deserved everything that she got this weekend. Absolutely amazing. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Your so humble host, Jimmy Church. We're going to do this. I'm going to tell you exactly how much fun we had this weekend because it was extraordinary. And what happened at night in the skies over Joshua Tree was history making. And the world of ufology is going to be talking about what went down these last 3 nights. It was insane. I'm going to tell you all about it. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. If you were in Joshua Tree this weekend, 323-825-5045. It's Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
What's up, revolutionaries? It's me, Jimmy Church. Do you have an IRS or state tax issue? Well, I did, and I called national tax experts. My problems were fixed, done, fini, and man, I gotta tell you, it was a relief. National Tax Experts are a recognized tax office that services clients in all 50 states. Doesn't matter where you live. Give them a call. I'm telling you, they take the time to understand each and every client's individual financial status as well as their financial goals. And that's exactly what you need, my brother, when you're taking on the evil 3-letter. So, seriously, give them a call today at 1-877-909-5444. Again, 1-877-909-5444. Or go check out their website, www.nattaxexperts.com. That's NATTAXEXPERTS.com. Tell them Jimmy sent you.
Health in America is becoming a top priority. Or maybe I should say, good health in the world is becoming a top priority. Maintaining a healthy body can be challenging. How about letting Life Change Tea help you? Our tea you make, you drink, and you benefit. Our unique blend of 8 different herbs helps you maintain good digestion, a healthy colon, and detoxes harmful toxins and parasites out of your body. And you know what? It tastes great. If you're wanting a change, a life change when it comes to health, log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Or you can call us at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. When you log on to our mobile-friendly website, you can read all the numerous testimonies of how Life Change Tea has helped so many people. We carry many, many beneficial products that help your health and keep you on track. Getthetea.com. Kind of gets in your head, doesn't it? Getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Kletzky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station, where the Fader-Knots rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back to Fade to Black. Yes, I am your oh so humble host, Jimmy Church. I am completely humbled after this weekend's events and what went down in the skies. That was important. And I would just listen. Michael Anderson, one of the great Fader-Knots, just tweeted, "I can't believe you just dismissed Bernie like that." And I get that, but I'm telling you right now, they're all schmoes. And that's it. All schmoes. Everything. And that's it. I don't care, man. I have disconnected from this election, man. I am embarrassed. And let's just all pray after this election. Whatever happens, it's going to be a rocky road for the next 4 years, no matter what goes down. And we got to get ready for it. But I don't care. I don't care. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm so disconnected. After what went down this weekend in Joshua Tree, for all of us, there are much more important things going on. And this election is not one of them. What a bunch of schmoes, man. They don't even matter. Any of them. What went down in Joshua Tree matters. It was incredible, and I will get to what went down in the skies in just a bit. It was Steven Spielberg, Close Encounters. That's what happened. It was gnarly. I just, my mind's blown. And I'll say this, Rita and I, we've had a couple of sightings together, right? Well, that's one thing. That's a random event. But this stuff was on demand, and it really went down. And Rita and I, as we left the first event, oh my goodness, it was just incredible what went down in the skies. But Rita goes, and I'm going to quote her right now, "They're real." It was like an ice pick in the forehead. It was stunning. And I'm going to get to that. So I'm going to start off with Thursday night. And so we get to Joshua Tree. We check in. We go to our little cottage, and we do our things and dump our stuff off. And I had a meeting or two that I had to go and attend, the host thing. Got all of that out of the way. Got the business stuff done. And we go over to across the street from the event, and we go over to the Joshua Tree Saloon. And so I'm going to say this, Rita, really quick. I know that these pictures were posted just a second ago from somebody else, but we go over to the Joshua Tree Saloon. We get there, and our table from last year, Allison and Colo, they didn't realize, but so they reserved that table, but it was our table from last year, and we sit down, and it's Allison, Colo, Rita, and myself, and that's how it started. And one person after another showed up there. By the end of the night, we had at least, we took over the entire bar is what it ended up happening. I'm going to say at least 50 Fadernauts are there. At least. I mean, it was, and this is the crazy thing. Not everybody had arrived yet. It was Thursday night. You know, some were arriving on Friday, but this was Thursday night. And we took over this bar, and I could not believe what was going on. I'm looking around. There was a patio there that was, okay, the pictures are coming in now. Yes, okay, that's... Thank you for this. Go follow us on Twitter right now, hashtag F2B. Twitter is @JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B. And we'll get the Thursday night shots of the saloon going. And there was a patio outside. And which I don't know, if it was packed, it would probably hold 50. Well, it was packed. And that was outside. All of the Fade to Black shirts and the crew shirts, and we're handing stuff out. And then inside, it was the same thing. It was humbling, and it was warm, and it was cool. And to see all of the Fadernauts talk about their families, and you know, Egyptian princess shows up. Just, hey, I'm here. And it was like that. It was packed and fun, and that was the first night. And to start the gathering in such a fashion, it was a sign of what was about to happen for the next few days. This was a huge event, but and we did it up. Now, can somebody post the picture in Twitter of what the patio looked like? I don't know who took. Okay, I'm going to retweet this one here. And this is from Karen. Karen took a bunch of pictures, but there's one right there for everybody. Yeah, okay, they're flooded. Okay, all right, I get you. Keep these coming. You have to see these pictures. They're just incredible. And so that was the first night. And I have no idea. There was no head counting or anything like that going on. All I know is this is a big bar, and we took it over. And there you go. So that was the first night, and that was the welcome party. So we wake up Friday. Now, Friday, the only thing that we had on the schedule for Friday was the live broadcast of Fade to Black that night, later on. And we'll get to that. But, yeah, look at these pictures. Thank you, Karen, and everybody else that's posting these. These are incredible. I'm going to do this one right now. That's a good... Just to give you some idea, this is a corner. I'm looking here. We have Fran. There's Karen. There's myself. There's Lori McDonald. There's Holly Cook. There's Egyptian Princess. There she is in the flesh. And there's another Fadernaut next to her that she brought. And there's Allison. That's the back of Allison's head. And this was, I'm not even sure what part of the night that was in. But there you go. Okay. So that was Thursday night, Joshua Tree Saloon. Friday, we get up. And it was kind of warm. And we go up to set up our booth. And the first thing that happened was that we decided that we needed a tent. So we send, I guess it was Dan Zukowski and the crew. Look at these pictures coming in. Wow. Really? Okay, I'm going to retweet these. I'm not going to make any comments. There's Eric Hemstreet, man, he was incredible. Anyway, Dan Zukowski and the crew, they head up and they get one of those portable gazebo tent things that exhibitors have. And so we get that and we immediately set up camp. So now we have a tent, we have our booth, we have our table, and next to us, this was the funny thing, was Stanton Friedman. And so Stanton and his table was in the sun. So we just said, Stanton, come on in here with us. So Stanton scoots his chair over, moves all of his books over. Now Stanton is with us for the rest of the weekend. And I'm going to say this right now about Stanton. Oh, here's our booth. Karen just posted a picture of our booth. And there you go. And, that's before. Oh, that's us setting up. Okay. But I'll pop this one. Let's retweet that. And so Stanton moves in, and now Stanton Friedman is the man. Stanton got to experience the Fadernauts for the next 4 days. And so, which our little area right there with our tent and our stuff, with us here, we have Stanton Friedman, we have David Hatcher Childress, we have Chris O'Brien, Brian Forrester, and I know I'm leaving a couple of people out, but they all, that's it. Laura Eisenhower. This area, we set up, I don't know, probably 10 chairs, 2 coolers that stayed packed with ice and water, and that was the hub. And I'm going to tell you right now, up at the top of the hill in front of the sanctuary, where everybody is set up, all the authors and presenters and stuff, we took over that area, man. And the Fadernauts were there in force. And not only Stanton and Childress and Brad Olson and Brian Forrester and everybody that was with us in that group, they got to experience everything full on. But the cool thing was the Fadernauts got to support everybody that was there, all the researchers, Dolan and Barra that were across the way. We just and in front of us, of course, Jim Mars, Melinda Leslie. We had that entire. We took over that hill up at the top, and it was an amazing experience all weekend long. Just everybody hanging out together. Jay Widener. Oh, man, it was just so much fun. And so anyway, so that's where we set up camp, and that's where things started. And then this happened. I'm going to share this with everybody. I get the call. Hey, Jimmy, Brad Olson wants you to introduce him. I said, okay, I'll do that. Wasn't on the schedule. But let's go do this. So I go down. I have not. And Brad, I know you're probably listening right now. Brad's been on the show many times. We're a great supporter of him and CCC Publishing and so forth. But I've never met Brad. So I go down, and he's speaking at the Friendship Hall. And I walk in, and it's packed. Packed. I was like, Brad. And I look around, and there's Brad Olson standing there. Brad Olson is 6'8". I had no idea that Brad Olson. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Bob, for posting this. I'm going to retweet this. This was the patio of the Joshua Tree Saloon. That was night one. Look, there's Rita, there's Nurse Nancy, there's Anna, there's Leslie, there's Holly, there's Mark, there's Lori. There's Cortana, there's Michael, and there's Eric standing behind me. There's Dave C. And the guy right there in the beard, by the way, that's standing next to Dave C., the real tall guy. He's about 6'4". I think his name was John. He came in from San Francisco, had never been to an event like this ever, and didn't have a ticket. So I walked over and I grabbed a wristband that we had, and I gave it to him. And I said, dude, enjoy your weekend. And I got to tell you, that guy right there was there all 4 days and came up to me, I don't know how many times, with tears in his eyes, thanking me for the weekend. It was very cool. There's Dan Zukowski all the way in the back. Look at that. Look at Les. But that's the beginning. Oh, there's Jose Torres right there. That was Thursday night. Okay. So anyway, back to Friday. So I go down and I walk up and there's Brad Olson, and he's 6'8", big, tall guy. I look like a very small person next to him. And I got to hang. That was the start of the hang with Brad Olson, but I got to introduce him there at the Friendship Hall. That was like a little added treat for the weekend. And then the Friday night broadcast started. And the broadcast, Clyde Lewis was there. And he had a booth in front of us, Clyde, so we were able to hang out with him all weekend, too, as well. But so we started to assemble, because of where we were located, the cast and the guest for Fade to Black. And we got everything assembled. I'm going to go through that in a second, and there may be a couple of names left out. I apologize, but this is all from memory. But we go down and we set up for the sound check. And all of that was flawless. Everything was cool. Could not believe it. It was just one of those things that you expect something to go wrong, but it didn't. And we go in and we set up at the Lotus Hall, which holds about 150 people. I think that was the head count, 150. And we set up. And so we were assembling everything. I'm going off memory here, but we set it up for Clyde Lewis to come in and co-host the show with me for the first couple of segments. But Clyde and I we've done stuff a lot over the years, but we've never done something together in person. So that was it. I wanted to interview Clyde on the show, and that's how we opened. And that was very cool. So Clyde sat in for the first two segments of the show. And we brought in, we had Chris O'Brien, we had Jay Widener, we had Mike Barrett, Linda Moulton Howe, Travis Walton, Jim Mars, Sid Goldberg was there, Walter Cruttenden, Laura Eisenhower, David Jacobs, Don Schmidt. And so we take off when we start the show. It's with Clyde and myself. And I think that Clyde, although Clyde and his crew and Ron Patton, what's up, Ron? I don't think that they quite understood what the Fadernauts were all about, or what was really going on here, and how we did our show there. Clyde said to me earlier in the day, he goes, "So, man, how are you gonna?" I said, "Dude, we're gonna do about 20 guests." What? We're gonna do 20 guests? What do you mean? That's how we do it every year. We're going to bring in 20 guests. You've got to be kidding me. And so Clyde got to kind of experience what Fade to Black and the Fadernauts and how we do things for the first time. And it was really cool because Clyde, obviously, premiere and ground zero in his show, but he got to experience firsthand what Fade to Black was all about. And he left a believer. He already was. I mean, we're friends. But that was really cool to see a vet like that and see this production and go through. So, anyway, Clyde comes in, and we do those. We do the first couple of segments, and we do Chris O'Brien and Jay Widener, and that was a lot of fun. And then the show develops, and the room is packed, and it's all good. It was fantastic for the first hour. And then we had a power outage. And what happened with that, I saw the lights blink for a second, and we had a power outage, and we lost our internet feed. So, which came back a half hour later, but the show went on. So that gap that was there for everybody out there listening to the show, we have everything here. We videoed and we have so the show was unbroken. So we're gonna tomorrow. You will see the full show in video. We'll get that posted, and everything that you missed in that half hour is still there. And the audience didn't know that was live there at Contact in the Desert. So that's the good news. We'll get that up and posted tomorrow. Plus, we have full video now. Okay, so the show was great, and I had a really good time. We ended up, throwing out T-shirts and everything to the audience, and that was an amazing thing to get through. That's what we were there for, was this event, and everybody that was attending had a great time. I realized that the audience out there for Fade to Black had the downtime, and there was nothing that we could do. That was a power outage, and as soon as they got the power back up and the internet came back and so forth, then we went immediately back online. But the show itself was taped, and all of the audio was there. We'll get that up tomorrow. So we get to the end, and I go outside, and we just wrap, and I get a text. This was just incredible. The text was from Giorgio Tsoukalos. We're on our way, man. I was like, what? I turned to Rita. I said, Tsoukalos is coming down to come on the show. And here he comes. He comes down the hill. Hey, man. And I said, the show's over. What? And Giorgio, he was upset. He really, really, really was bummed out about this. I mean, to the point where, he was just bummed. But he hung out with not only the audience, but the Fadernauts, and just talked, and for the next half hour, just hung out with everybody and just apologized because he was there to be on the show. And I said, no, Giorgio, in front of everybody, Giorgio, it's okay, man. And his response was, no, it's not okay. It's the Fadernauts, man. And I was like, wow. And to say that in front of everybody so loudly, and he meant every word of it, was so cool. So we stood around and talked with everybody and hung out for the rest of the night. And it's my, I'm going to guess right now, but if it wasn't so late, and if we didn't have to pack up, and we had other things that we had planned, he would have hung out with us all night long. And until the sun come up. So thank you, Giorgio, for that. More about Giorgio and stuff in just a little bit. But then we pack up and we get directions for Eric Hemstreet, this house that he's got. And we're going to have a little get together. It's 3 miles away. So we pack up and we, and thank you to everybody for helping us with that. We pack up, we wrap, we go. And we head up the hill. And it's 3 miles away. Oh, who just posted this? This is good. Oh, this is Rita. Okay. Yeah, there's our booth. Look at that. It looks like, look at Stanton. Rita, this is a great picture. Okay, this is exactly, you got to go to, if you're not following us right now on Twitter, you got to do this. Hashtag F2B. All right? See this is perfect. Look at Stan Friedman. Okay, see his table? See how it's cut in half? He moved half of his table into our booth so he could sit in the shade. And he hung out with us all weekend long. And if you look in the background, it looks like a campground. All of this in the background is us. And that we took over the top of the hill. Absolutely incredible. But look at Stan. He's the man. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So we go up the hill. And we go up the hill and up and up and up to the last house at the base of the mountain in Joshua Tree. And Eric's pad that he rented up there was I think it was the villain's pad in Iron Man. Okay? This thing, I don't know how big it was. I don't know if it was 5,000 square feet or bigger or whatever. But it was the nicest place. One of the nicest places in all of Joshua Tree in the Valley. Huge pool, but the point is, it was beautiful and it held everybody. And we were able to go up. Cortana was cooking. Fran was cooking. And then the people started to arrive. Laura Eisenhower showed up for the Fadernauts, Lori McDonald, Holly Cook, Mark Walsh, Holly's better half, to hang out with the Fadernauts all night, and that was it. We were overlooking the valley up at this wonderful house. So I'm going to say this right now, Eric, thank you for that. That was an extraordinary evening, and it was a great, extraordinary end to an extraordinary day. Extraordinary day. It was incredible. That was day 2. And to start to see what I want to say this the correct way. When we were at the house up there, all of us, Nurse Nancy, Karen, everybody, Les, we all, Dave C., Dan, Eric, and the rest of the Fadernauts, if I've left you out the list, we're outside and we look up into the sky, and it's the Milky Way above us, and that you can't see from L.A., the streaks of the Milky Way going through the sky. And up in the sky, we're looking at Mars, and we're looking at Jupiter and Saturn and the constellations. They're trying to tell me it's Scorpio. I don't know. I can't tell. But the stars in Joshua Tree are 2 feet from your face. And this was the start of things to come. We're looking up, and we're just talking about what is out there in E.T., and as you look at the Milky Way and how incredible it looks in the desert, you start to realize right there that there's too much going on in the skies, and we are truly not alone. We know this, right? Okay. The incredible view that we were looking at, and we mentioned to all of everybody. I know I'm stumbling right now because what I'm about to share with you was beyond words. But something special was about to happen, and we all knew it. And I'm going to start to share that with you when I come back after this break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Wrapping up the Contact in the Desert report with you. What happened in the skies at Contact in the Desert? It's going to be talked about for years. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of this product.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
To order your 2-month supply, call now toll-free 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Imagine no longer being tied down to your computer, but having the freedom to take live talk radio with you anywhere you go. TalkStream Live introduces our first ever iPhone application. The talk shows you follow now follow you. And your iPhone is now the fastest and easiest way to stay connected to the best talk radio on the internet. Let TalkStream Live transform the way you listen to radio. Listen to live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mobile talk radio from TalkStream Live. Now available in the iTunes App Store.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Well, we are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129, and use the promo code JCRTWS, and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to JimmyChurchRadio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Tepe.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back to Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm doing a wrap-up of Contact in the Desert this weekend because it needs to be done. Absolutely incredible evening. And I want to thank everybody right now that is tweeting all of these unbelievable pictures, and certainly from the broadcast, too, as well. And they're just coming in droves. Follow us on Twitter right now, at JChurchRadio. That's what you want to do. And hashtag F2B, and you can check out some of these pictures that are getting posted. They are just incredible. Oh, here is where Rita. Okay. The picture of me with the blonde gentleman with the sunglasses that just got posted. He's got a gray shirt on. His name's Philip, and he's from Hong Kong. He comes up to me and literally, Jimmy, my name's Philip. I'm from Hong Kong. I flew in for Fade to Black. Gives me the bow. I'm like, what? Did you say what? I said, you're kidding me. You have big fans in Hong Kong. And so for everybody in Hong Kong, I just want to say, hello. And a couple of comments, catchphrases from Fade to Black, he laid out on me. I was like, incredible. come here. And I brought him up to the top of the hill. And I said, man, you've got to meet everybody and take some pictures. So there is Philip. And that's going to get a retweet. Philip was absolutely incredible. And it was really cool hanging out with him. Okay. Now, back to where was I? We wrapped Friday. Right. Okay. Eric's house. Incredible night. And so now let's get to Saturday, because this is where things got pretty wacky. It started off in the morning. Immediately, I had to go and introduce Graham Hancock, which was really cool. We had Graham on Coast to Coast last week, and so we head over, and finally, I get to meet Graham, and all of that is cool. Everything is good. It was packed. And there he is, man, in the flesh, man. It's Graham Hancock. Totally cool. And his wife and everything. So I introduced Graham. I'm not going to tell you how I screwed up the introduction. In the end, it turned out to be okay. But Graham, very cool guy. A little bit different than I expected. Just a really cool guy, down to earth. And I don't know what I expected, but it certainly wasn't that. And Graham was very cool. And all of the rest of the weekend, every time he walked by, he threw me the bro hug. And I thought that was very, very, very cool. So that's how that started off. And then introducing Graham. Do we have pictures of that? Rita, do we have pictures of Graham Hancock? Are we in that order? Oh, you guys are jumping ahead, man. Look at Rita just posted pictures of yes. Okay. All right. That gets a retweet. Me looking up at Brad Olson. That's how tall that dude is, man. He's humongo. And so there you go. There's some Brad Olson pictures. Do we have Graham Hancock? That's good. Man, these are ripping by so fast. Okay, I'll keep my eyes peeled. Yeah, Tammy just said, what about the George Norrie party? We're going to get to that right now. Okay. Yeah, there's Graham Hancock. Thank you, Rita. There he is in the flesh. Look at Graham. All right. There you go. Let's get that retweeted. And so introduce Graham. Moving on. My panel. Now, Saturday was a warm day, okay, and all of us were fighting the heat, and it was hot. Okay, it wasn't so bad yesterday or today, but Saturday it started to heat up, and I go over to eat lunch, and there's Dolan. And we're now starting to overheat a little bit, and using the stuff on our necks and things. But anyway, so Richard's there, and the panel starts at 2:00, and Richard and I are eating at 1. And I turn to Richard. Richard goes, "So what are you doing for the rest of the day?" I go, "Dude, we're doing a panel together." It's like 1:30 at 2:00, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's right." So that's what happens next. So we go down to the amphitheater, and on my panel, which was government secrecy, is Stanton Friedman, of course, Dolan, David Pallades. Oh man, who else? Nick Redfern, Danny Sheehan, and John Greenwald. That's the panel. And I get there, and Greenwald's already there, and Stanton's there. And I get up, and everybody rolls in, but I look out, and I didn't really notice it. And I looked out, and it's full. The amphitheater is full. There is a lot of people there. I don't know. I'm going to say 1,500. It ended up, after about an hour, it was completely packed. But I was happy. Why? The panel itself and what we covered, government secrecy, was really good. So I'm going to tell you a little secret about that panel. And if you go and you see it and you see the video of it later, I stepped up to everybody and I said, look, guys, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to give them everything. Okay? Let's not hold back. When it comes to government secrecy, right now, today, this is the subject. Let's not hold back. I went up to Nick and Pallades and Dolan on that half of the table. I said, guys, come on. Let's do not hold back. And then I'll go to the other side. I said the same thing. Let's not hold back. And they didn't. I've done enough of these things, and we've all seen enough of these things to know that sometimes it's okay and it's fun. You get to see these, these researchers and authors in person, and it's cool, and that's sometimes is good enough. But this time around, for me, I was stunned. This panel was perfect. It was absolutely spot on. And the audience and the reactions to this panel, I could tell it was a moment in time. I'm not saying it because of me. I'm talking about these guys brought it, and they brought it big time. All of them. John Greenwald, Danny Sheehan, Stanton. I mean, it was Nick Redford, David Pallades. It was amazing. And Dolan later on would not stop talking about it. Richard said, I could not believe the information that was going out to that audience. Even for me, it was one of the best moments I've ever had. And it was like that. The rest of the weekend, I had people coming up to me all weekend just going, you know what, that panel, dude. And it was. So if you go and see it, remember what I just said to you right now. They were there to bring it, and they did. It was really, really cool. But it was hot. It was hot, man. It was hot. And I stood up on my feet for 2 hours. These guys get to sit, right? Well, about an hour into this, and I had drank, by the end of the panel, I think I drank 6 or 8 full, huge bottles of water, and I couldn't stop. Well, one of the production crew says, Jimmy, come here. So I had to go over to the side of the stage and speak to him, and I did. And as I was done, I turned around, started to walk back, and I almost passed out. It's something happened. The heat took over, and the entire amphitheater, earth, started spinning around me, and I stumbled. I almost hit the ground, and I caught myself. I righted myself, and I tried to get everything to stop spinning, which it eventually did. And I looked out at the audience, and I thought, did they see that? Of course they did. Of course they saw that. It was in front of God and everybody. I almost hit the dirt, and I don't know how I caught myself. I don't know how I recovered, but I did. And it was I was not in a good place at that moment. Thankfully, I think Stanton Friedman talked for about 30 minutes, and I was able to recover. But it was bad there for a second. And hey, there you go. There's Stanton on the Jumbotron. Now, okay. I want, this is a good picture. Thank you for this, Karen. I'm going to retweet this because this will they had 2 Jumbotrons there on both sides of the stage. Oh, this is another good picture. Just to give you an idea about how big of a stage I am talking about, go to Twitter right now. Go to #F2B. And look at this image that I just retweeted. Look at that. How wide is that stage? That's got to be 200 feet. 2 Jumbotrons. 2 Jumbotrons. Look at the size of the stage and the lighting and the PA system and everything else. And if you see my fat ass right there in black on the stage, see how small I am. Look at the size. Look at the panel. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys sitting at this table. Look how small they are. Look at the jumbotrons. Look at Dolan. Dolan looks good. That's a 50-foot Dolan right there. That's how big the stage was. Okay. Oh, actually, this might be where I stumbled, because it looks like that's when I was talking to the guys. Anyway, I turn around right there and I stumbled. I lost it. I didn't. No, stumble's the wrong word. I swerved. It was really bad. But that's how big the stage is, and that is what is going on at Contact in the Desert. And that's just one of the venues there. So anyway, okay. So yeah, okay. Now there's another shot here. I'm going to retweet this. That's the audience in the background. Look at this. When I say 1,500, 2,000 people, I don't know. I'm not exaggerating though. That the crowd, it's huge. It's huge. And this shot with Gabriel and look at that's Cortana. There's Cherie right there. And that's about a quarter of the audience going back, but there you go. All right. So, okay, moving on. We do the panel, right? Next up, after the panel, after that, I went and introduced David Wilcock and Corey Good, and that was an incredible thing because of that. There was like 1,000 people there for that, but watching David and Corey speak to an audience like they did was really, really cool for me to do, and I want to thank them for that. It was a pretty good event. More on this in a bit. Then we move on to the George Norrie birthday bash. So, do we have the video from the George Norrie birthday bash? Can somebody pull that? If you go to our Facebook page, it is there. At our table is Mike Barra, Stanton Friedman, Travis Walton, Travis's wife, Crix, and Giorgio Tsoukalos, myself, and Rita. That's our table, all right? And the birthday bash was fun. It was great. Great food, by the way. And going through that was pretty cool. I got to do a couple of things, and yeah, George pulled me up a few times, and that was pretty cool to introduce Travis. I introduced Stanton and Barra. Man, I forget who else, and I got to pull all of them up and hang out, and then we. Of course, Rita bought George some Jack Daniels, and we gave that to him. And there you go. It was a good party, good food, lots of fun, and there you go. But this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is what happens next. The party ends at 9 o'clock. At 9:01, we get a text. And the text comes in from our friend Anna in Florida that we met last year. And the text says, UFOs are everywhere right now. Get over here to the lookout. That's the text. And Rita and I take off. Rita's feet and my feet, but Rita's especially, sore. You know, we're walked for 2 days. I've never seen Rita walk that fast. And there we go. And we start heading down the hill. I go up to the first person that I see working from Contact in the Desert. Where is the lookout? Literally, right there. What do you mean? It's right there. It's next to our cabin. So we head down the road. It's about 100 yards away. And everybody's walking, and there's action. You could tell. There's excitement. And Anna meets us in the middle. You've got, let's go. What are you talking about? They're everywhere. What are you talking about? Now, I just want to warn you at this point, when somebody is saying stuff like this, and I trust Anna, we all do, but you don't, it's whatever, it's make-believe, right? Okay, whatever, it's lasers in the sky, it's drones, it's not what you think, okay? Wrong. So we get there. We head up this hill, and it's on a cliff like overlook. That's why it's called the Lookout. It's beautiful, by the way. And we get up there, and it's dark, and there's about, when I say dark, it's black. Okay, it's black. You can't barely see your hands in front of your face. It's dark. But there's about 150 people up there. And it's Melinda Leslie doing her night vision. Okay, with all of the military grade, and which they were, by the way, night vision binoculars. And we go up, and I am, and Rita's with me, Anna's with me, and we find Melinda in the dark, but we do. And by the time I get to Melinda, I'm there for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And people are, just look at this over here. Look. And I'm like, what's going on? And this is what happens. This is event number 1. Listen to what I am saying. I take my head and I look straight up. Straight up. I tilt my head back and I look, no night vision. This is my eyeballs. And I look straight up into the sky. And I see, it's stars. It's beautiful. And right above me is a planet. Like, a planet. Mars, right? A planet. You look up in the sky, you see Jupiter, you see Saturn, you see Mars, you see whatever, you see Venus, you see planets that are bigger than the stars. They're bright. And there it is. And I think it's Mars. It's orange, red, orange, amber, like Mars, which we had seen the previous night up at Eric's house. We were looking at Mars, and I noted the size and how beautiful it was and how big it was in the skies in Joshua Tree. So I tilt my head back and I look up at this orb, planet, glowing, and the stupid thing moves. And it's a planet, right? That's what I think it is. It's a planet. And it moves. And it moves from left to right. And it moves from left to right, by my judgment, for where I'm standing, about a foot. A foot from left to right. And it does it in about a second and a half. It goes, and then poof, disappears. I need to express to you what I just saw. If you go out in your backyard, you look up in the sky and you see Mars glowing red in your night sky, and you're standing there looking at it, and then it suddenly moves a foot and then disappears, what goes into your brain at that moment? That's what happened to me. And the other 150 people that were there, and the other 5,000 people that are at the event behind me. I saw it myself. So did everybody else. I could not believe what just happened. And this was not, from my judgment, I told Richard Dolan all of this yesterday. We had another party. I'll get to that in a second. But when I told Richard about this, and I told him, I said, dude, I'm the crazy guy now, right? He said, that's insane. I said, Richard, see Mars right there? And he goes, yeah, okay, imagine that, moving from there to there and then disappearing. Because that's incredible. And that's what happened. I can't add or subtract to the experience. That's what it was. Mars or whatever. Now, the judgment. Richard said, well, how far away? I said, look, it looked like that. So I don't know if it was 1,000,000 miles away. I don't know if it was in orbit around Earth and it was 400 miles away, or if it was 60,000 feet. My guess was it was outside of our atmosphere. That's my guess. If I was to guess, that's where it was. I don't know if it was inside of our atmosphere. Because the problem that we have now is twofold. If it was inside of our atmosphere, now we're talking about some crazy large, huge. It would have had to have been, if it was inside of our atmosphere, we're talking about something a mile across. Big. With anti-gravity. Under intelligent control. If it's inside of our atmosphere. If it's outside of our atmosphere and it's out there in space, then we've got some kind of spacecraft. If it's inside of our atmosphere, it's got to have wings, right? It's got to have a rocket engine. It's got to have something to make it fly. But if it's out, so that's crazy enough. It's some kind of anti-gravity thing. But if it's out in the atmosphere, out in space, then it could be anything, right? All I can tell you is what I saw. At first, I thought it was a planet, and it was a long ways away, because I thought I was just looking at the stars in the sky. And the frigging thing moved. The stationary planet, you need to understand what I'm saying here, moved a foot and then disappeared, vanished. There were no flashes of light. There was nothing, change of direction. There was nothing like that. It just disappeared. I don't know what to say. I can only tell you what happened. And it seemed to me that it was on demand. It was a show. That's the way that I feel. And when I have somebody come on like Melinda Leslie or, other people that talk about CE5 and Stephen Greer, and they talk about this, okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'd like to check. It happened, folks. And it happened in front of everybody there. I can't explain what I saw. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I just don't know. But it happened. And that was just the beginning. Now, before we go to break, the reason why Anna said to us there is UFOs in the sky, what had just happened 10 minutes before we got there was a series of orbs came out of this mountain, listen to me, and came across the valley and started a light display. And the lights were multiple colored on each one of the orbs, and they moved across the valley, right? Now, we didn't see that, but I know that it happened because I just saw what I just saw. Now, and those orbs moving across the valley, these craft, these ships with the multiple lights, were caught on video, were caught on camera. I saw so many photographs of it over the next couple of days, and the amount of witnesses that were there that got to see everything, that was right before what I saw in the sky. What happened next was even crazier, and this is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Contact in the Desert wrap-up show. We're talking about the UFOs over the valley over the weekend. On the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRAradio.com.
soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
Did you ever turn to your radio for your favorite talk show to find that it's been preempted for this?
In the air to deep right center. Back goes Lewis to the wall, and it's out of here!
Or this?
And I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it.
Do you have a favorite talk radio program that's not available in your city? Just go to TalkStreamLive.com for links to the best streaming talk radio shows. At TalkStream Live, you will find live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All your favorites are here. With such a large selection, you will also discover some new favorites. On the go and still want to listen? With the mobile smartphone, simply type TalkStream Live on your internet browser. Now you can take internet radio with you. You will also find hundreds of music, news, and sports streams. Best of all, the TalkStream Live directory is free and there's never a login required. Remember TalkStreamLive.com, the fastest route between you and your favorite talk radio show.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. Starting to get my pipes back, by the way. Okay, so I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm doing a wrap-up of the extraordinary weekend at Contact in the Desert. And it was stunning. Now, I just talked about the first thing that happened as we stepped up on Saturday, Saturday. With this thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it looked to me like Mars moved a foot and then disappeared. That's what I saw. And I was like, holy crap, what is going on? And everybody is screaming. There's, like I said, we're standing in the middle of about 100, 150 people in the dark, and it just happened in front of all of us. And I'm serious too, screaming and nuts. And I'm stunned. I don't know how to put this into words. And I turn around to Melinda Leslie in the dark and I go, okay, I got to get the night vision. And she hands me some goggles. And this is what happens next. And folks, just listen. All right. I get the goggles, and I just look up into the stars, and immediately somebody starts pointing this laser up in the sky, going, "There's something right there." Now, remember, everybody's got night vision goggles around me. There, I don't know. There's probably 20 people that are looking up, and they see something. And so I pull the goggles down and I look to where they're pointing with the night vision or with the lasers. And there's nothing there. It's just one section of the sky. It's black, right? There's nothing. So I put the goggles back up and I'm looking. I'm saying goggles, the binoculars. And then there it is. It's this thing moving in the exact spot where Mars just was. I say Mars, whatever that thing was that disappeared, moved and disappeared. And now it's moving in the opposite direction, right where this thing was that disappeared. And I pull the goggles, the binoculars back down, and I look, and there's nothing there. It's black sky. And I look back up, and I can clearly see it. And it's moving from left to right now, the same spot. Like, what the hell? And as I'm freaking, my hands are shaking, by the way, as this is going on. And Melinda puts the microphone up to me, so I can tell the audience, the crowd there, what I'm seeing. And then it traveled about the same distance. You know, I'm guessing, whatever. If you look up and you put your arms out and you say a foot, right? About that far. It disappears. It just goes. It goes from left to right, and it's a ball. There's nothing about it. There's nothing flashing on it. There's nothing, no blinking or anything. It's just this thing way up high in the stars, and it just poofs. It just disappears. I'm like, wait a minute, man. What is going on? So that was that for me. Okay, now inside of 5 minutes that I'm standing there, these two things happen. And now I'm like in crazy town. I'm in bizarro world. I've stepped into another paradigm that I had no clue existed. And I've had my sightings over the years. You all know, I've shared them with you. But this is different. This is on demand. This is going on. And for this show in front of everybody there. Right? And then this happens. I get a tap on my shoulder. Somebody standing in back of me. Jimmy. To the left. Now, this is a panoramic view, uninterrupted, left to right over the valley, 180-degree panoramic view. All the way to my left now, I have to turn. And he goes, something just came out of that mountain. It's a green orb. And I look with my eyes, my eyeballs, and I see the mountain barely, but I see this. It's green. It's bright green. Not blue, not red, not an aircraft, not like anything you've ever seen in your life. It's a green, bleeping friggin' ball of light. About, from where I'm standing, it's got to be 10 miles away. All the way across the valley, all the way over to this mountain range, 10 miles away is a bright, glowing green ball. And as I look and I say to myself, that's not real. That's what is, it's hauling balls. This thing looks like it was shot out of a cannon. And so I pop on the night vision and I look at it. And as I look, now in the night vision, I can clearly see the mountain. It's like lit up. And this thing is the mountain peak. It's below the top of the mountain peak, and it's to the right of the mountain peak, and it's heading off now. And it's going up. And it's going up like, imagine 1 o'clock on the clock, like that kind of angle, or 2 o'clock. I'm looking at the studio clock here. So I don't know what degrees that is. But I'm not, just imagine it's moving up at that angle away, up. And I'm looking at it in the night vision, and I can't make out a shape, but it is big. It's like I said, it's 10 miles away. It's way, 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 way far away. And in the night vision, because it's binoculars, it's enlarged and so forth. And I'm tracking it, and I'm watching it move past the stars in the background, and it's obviously hauling ass. I have no idea about the speed, but if it's a plane or an aircraft, if it is, it's clearly not. But what I mean is, from that distance, a plane would be, moving slow. I don't care if the plane is going 300 miles an hour, but it's slow, especially at that distance. This thing is moving. And I pull down the binoculars, and I look again, and it has traveled a long ways from the mountain in seconds. And I pull the night vision back up, and I get on this thing, and I'm watching the stars in the background just blur by as it's moving so fast. Up, 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 and I'm watching it. And then everybody's flashing the lasers in that direction. And as the lasers moved, past it, because, lasers are moving all over the place. But every time it went past the craft would sparkle. So it was metallic. Something's reflecting the lasers off of it. And so I could see this little, it was metallic, but it's glowing green. And I'm watching in the night vision, I'm watching the lasers bounce off of it once in a while. And now this goes on for about, because okay, listen to me. I know I sound crazy right now, but it is taking off away from Earth, away. And now it's starting to slow down. It's not traveling as fast. And now it's at the same trajectory, but now it's getting into the upper atmosphere, right? Like leaving Earth. And I'm not, just listen. And now it's starting to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm pulling the night vision away. And I can tell now it went from a big glowing green ball, metallic green ball that was here when it was next to the mountain, to now it's a tiny little dot in the sky. Still green a little bit, but now it's starting to look like a star. And I'm watching it with the night vision, and it just slows to a crawl. It went from Mach 10, I don't know what, man, it was hauling, to now it's so far out into space, right? And then it stops. And it stops, and I'm trying to get this orientation, and I'm trying to lock on it because I want to see if it's still moving. And it's like sitting right above the star, something below it. But now it's just parked. It's just sitting there. And I'm watching it. And then after about 15 seconds, and I'm serious, my hands are shaking. My heart is pounding out of my chest. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. Then the damn thing moves. And it moves from like 11 o'clock above the star that I was just trying to lock onto it. It moves to like the 1 o'clock position. In a couple of seconds, just goes and stops again. And I'm like, I cannot believe this is going on. And as that happens, and I'm telling it, okay, it stopped again, it turns. And I could see it just for just a short span of time. It turns to the left and then shoots off into space. Disappears. Now, I'll do my best Childress right now. I ask you, what did I just see? Now, I'm just going to shorten this for a second. I saw a giant metallic green glowing ball that was 10 miles away. how big it was from 10 miles from my own eyes. It had to have been, to me, 100 feet around. I mean, a large metallic ball that was glowing green off of this mountain at that trajectory of at like 2 o'clock, take off and just shoot up into the atmosphere and disappear. And the entire event took about, and I just said 5 minutes. I think it was less, maybe about 3, including because it slowed down for a long time and then eventually slowed and stopped. That was bizarre too. And then take a left-hand turn and disappear. I saw it. All I can tell you is that's my eyewitness account. And it was going on all night long. So now, after that happens, and we've only been there for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I had those 3 things happen in 10 minutes. Never in my life have I looked into the skies and said, hey, it'd be cool if I saw a UFO and see something. It's never happened. 3 of them in 10 minutes that I cannot explain. And for everybody in the future, YouTube, archives, our podcast, everything that is going to hear this again in the future, and it's just listen to me. This is exactly how it happened. So, Rita then gets the night vision. I hand him over to her. And I could not, at that moment, my friends, my family, at that moment, I turned to Melinda and I said, I need a sedative right now. I need to calm down. The adrenaline and just for this to go down for me like this at this moment, it was over what my senses, I couldn't look anymore. I just had to collect myself. And I turned to Rita and I give her the night vision. And I'm just like, and Melinda said something like, how you doing? Like, I don't like you right now, Melinda. Don't even look at me. I can't deal with this. This is too much. And what's going on? Rita's looking to the sky. And I turn around and Rita's looking up and a couple of Rita's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the lasers start pointing. And then they do the same thing for it. Now, Rita spoke about this last night on Beyond the Strange. She got to tell her experience. But I know what she saw. She saw the same things that I saw. Now, I think hers turned and moved. But I'll leave Rita to share that experience with you. We then, and Rita saw, a few different things, but we split. Let me say this. We were walking away with Anna, and we had to get to the Fader house. They're waiting for us. And we are walking, and for Rita to say to me that we don't understand what's going on. We have no idea. There is a whole nother world. There's a whole nother thing going on out there that we know nothing about. And we're walking back, and we really don't know what to say to each other. Now, there was some language used that I can't do on the air. But we're walking away, and we couldn't even talk to each other. I mean, we were both in our own brains at that moment. But Rita said something that I thought was pretty telling. And she said, if CNN, if the news, if there was a reporter, if there was a crew up here with video and was shooting that right there, and the evidence is right there, and there's nothing there is no denying what just happened. it still wouldn't make the news. They wouldn't report it. They wouldn't do it. And she was right. Here we have and this show, this show that is going on above everybody there. They would make fun of it. And it was proof. I mean, it's like what? There's nothing that can be said to discount this or to debunk it. There's nothing that can be done. There's no way that you look up into the sky with your own two eyes and you see a planet that you think is a planet that's part of, when you look up into the sky at any given time and you're looking at the stars and you see what's up there and you just think it's, and then one of those decides to move a foot and then disappear. There's nothing you can say to explain that. There's nothing. There's no technology. There's no satellites. We're not moving planets. There's nothing unless a planet just black holed. It moved and went into a black hole and got sucked up and disappeared. There's that, or there's something intelligent out there that is flying around. That's it. There is nothing else to explain this. And I don't want to hear it from anybody. I don't want to hear any debunk. I'm not going to go there. Because now I've seen it. And it's really true. If there was a news crew up there, it wouldn't make the news. They would find a way to blow that out. But I don't care anymore. I've seen it. Night vision, I don't know what to say. I don't. So then what do? We somehow manage to drive. So we go down to our cabin. And we jump in the car. We head over to the fader pad, and we pull up, and and they're cooking, and we're doing, they're doing it up, and we pull up. I can't even talk. I can't even think. And we sit down and we tell the fader knots about what just happened. And the thing is, that all of the valley was abuzz at that point. Everybody was talking about the sightings that were going on because they were. And this wasn't you need to understand what I'm saying here. This was a rash of sightings in front of and over a city that was visible with the naked eye. These blue orbs that went across the valley with these changing lights on it. I've seen the videos of it now. Like I said, there was a documentary film crew. I've seen the still photographs, and there were thousands of people that saw it. Not just a couple. We're talking about everybody. They all saw it. And I had to sit down with the fader knots at this party and be the crazy guy. I'm the guy that I interview on the show every night, right? And I have an open mind. It's not that. I've had my sightings. But when you hear people talk about this, Stephen Greer and all of the people that do his stuff and the CE5 and that's it. I'm done. You can do it. And this was obviously a show for what was going on. And look, I'm the crazy guy. It was a show going on for the UFO conference in the middle of the desert. You know what? It was, folks. There were thousands of people there to witness this. I can't put it into words. Incredible. Incredible. We had Melinda Leslie on the show last week, and she's here, she's telling us about these things that she goes out every night. We see it, man. We go out, and it's only one night has it never happened, and I've been doing this for a long time, 600 of these tours, and it happens every night, and I make a believer, and I'm here to tell you, man, this stuff is real. I don't care now. I don't care what anybody says to me. It does not matter. Incredible. Just incredible. So anyway, so then we go back and we have this wonderful, wonderful party. And we posted a couple of pictures on my Facebook page. I'm looking at individual pictures here of that night. But we took one group picture. Can somebody post the big group picture of Fade or Not Party #1 from Saturday? Just post that, because it's nearly perfect. And at this party, okay, I'm going to go to, let me back up here. Yeah, this is live radio. Okay, so the first night, the Fader party, there's Gigi, there's Fran, there's Dan, there's Cortana, there's Rita, there's Allison, there's Nancy, there's Karen, there's myself, there is Anya, there's Gabriel, there's Cherie, next door neighbor Will, there's somebody in the background I can't see, there's Les, there's Dave C., and a few other people that I can't tell who this is. That's our first night. And where I'm sitting, this is why I'm bringing this up. I'm sitting in the middle of the group, right? That's where I sat as I told the story. And I don't think I got up the entire night. I think I sat there. I was completely stunned. I was not my normal self. And I didn't do any storytelling that night. I just kept repeating over and over again about what I saw. And here at the Fader house, we were looking up into the stars, right? And everybody's like, well, describe it again. I said, guys, look up into the stars right now. You see that bright star right there? Something like that moved a foot and disappeared. That's it. I can't believe it. It really happened. And the thing for me, by the way, I want to say this, and I need to emphasize for a second here. Night vision's one thing, and it reveals. Okay, that's cool. That's technology that's involved, and it helps you see this, and which is extraordinary. But this happened with my eyeballs. I just looked up with everybody else, straight up, 12 o'clock, tilt your head back, look straight up into the sky. That's where this was. This thing moved and disappeared. That's with your eyes. And it was on demand. It was absolutely a life-changing event. The next day, by the way, I go up to Melinda, and she comes down. She comes over. Her booth was next to ours. She comes over. So, what'd you think? I said, you know what, Melinda? Don't talk to me. I don't like you. Just go. That messed with me. And she's just laughing. I told you. And it was like that. It was perfect. It was incredible. And it didn't end there. And this is Fade to Black. When I come back after the break, we got to go to day 3, Sunday, because it happened again for everybody. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, wrapping up Contact in the Desert and the UFOs over Joshua Tree. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
KGRA Radio. Intelligent talk.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If your home has hard water and it's leaving white spots, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes. Limescale can cost hundreds of dollars a year in wasted energy and early appliance breakdown. HydroCare systems available at Wave Home Solutions prevent and remove limescale with just a simple filter change every 3 years. There are no salts, chemicals, or magnetic coils. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, just go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hi, I'm Richard Dolan. When I'm not hosting my radio program, The Richard Dolan Show on KGRA, or writing new books on UFOs, I run a publishing company. I'm proud to say that Richard Dolan Press has published some of the most fascinating books available on UFOs and related subjects. They include Dr. Bruce Maccabee's classic analysis of the UFO cover-up, David Marler's breakthrough book on triangular UFOs, Dr. Richard Sauter's unique work on underground bases, and other classics by Grant Cameron, Chase Kletsky, and Dr. Bob Wood, not to mention intriguing works by Eve Lorgan and Laurie MacDonald that deal with truly bizarre phenomena. I'm proud to publish such high quality and original works, and there are several amazing books about to be released over the next few months. Go to richarddolanpress.com to learn more.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back to Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What's going on? What a great weekend we had. Just beyond belief weekend out of Contact in the Desert. Now, we have posted, probably 100 pictures so far tonight in Twitter. And if you weren't there, you want to be there next year because that's how we did it this weekend. Just nuts. So anyway, all right. Now let's get into yesterday. We were so stunned from the night before. And yeah, Melinda came up and she's laughing because she knows what happened to us. She's used to it, right? Not us, man. That was nuts. But all over the place, everybody was talking. And there was, thousands of people there, witnesses that saw this incredible light show, this UFO party that went on the night before, and I was there to witness it with Rita. It was unbelievable, life-changing, and people coming up, showing us pictures, and just everybody was talking about it. Right? Did you see it? Did you? Yes. So. As this and I'm walking around and it was hard to focus because it was that kind of evening. I mean, just imagine being out there at Devil's Tower and Close Encounters and saying, that's what this was, man. It's exactly what it was. I can't describe it in any other way. And I'm just so glad. I'm telling you. For years, they're going to be talking about this night and the photographs and the videos and stuff that happened. And thank God that Rita and I were there to witness it because it was extraordinary is not the right word. Bizarre is more of a better word for it. It was just bizarre. It really happened. Okay? So now Sunday comes along. And I go down the hill, and Dennis, by the way, Dennis put us on a mission and said, I want a Wilcock autograph book. So for a day, for 24 hours, Dennis just listened to me. I went up to David the day before, and we're hanging out. I go, hey, Wilcock, I need one of your books. Don't have any. What do you mean? Here, okay, but back at your room, you got one. No, I don't. I need one signed for Dennis, man. And he goes, well, if you find one, I'll do whatever. Dennis is, I said, okay, all right. So we go on this mission to find a Wilcock book, which obviously we failed at. But Dennis, it was everything that we had to find you that. But we didn't pull that off. So then, but I had a thing scheduled with David Wilcock to sign this book, which we didn't find. So I go anyway. So the opportunity is there. And David, his security guy, comes up to me and says, "Man, did you get the book? David's waiting for you." And I go, "Dude, I didn't get the book." He goes, "Man, David, I said, you know what? We'll go anyway." And so at 4:15, 4 o'clock, whatever. Yesterday, I go down to the amphitheater, again, packed. I mean, Wilcock's going on stage. And I'm there with Mark, and we go up to David. David comes down and goes, "Church, did you get the book?" "No, I didn't." "Oh, dude, well, introduce me." "Really?" "Oh, man, I'm not really dressed for this right now, and I'm still thinking about these UFOs from the night before. Not really there. My head's not there." I said, "Okay, David, I will." So I go out and introduce Wilcock. "Oh, can you, oh, man, who posted this? Karen, you got to stop this." Karen just posted the picture of me looking up in the sky as I'm telling the story of the night before. That's actually pretty classic. That's going to get a retweet. All right, I'll do it. Okay. All right. Now, so go out, introduce Wilcock. It's packed at the amphitheater. Those are the pictures that were posted, and we're still stunned. And I'm trying to describe to Mark, who is with me, Mark Walsh, Holly Cook's better half, about the night before. It was just insane. We get back and we pack up, and this was 5 o'clock in the evening, and I go to Dolan, Richard Dolan. He's there. He's standing there. I said, "Hey, man, we're throwing a little get together. Come on over. There's a radio broadcast going on with Beyond the Strange, and come on over." He says, "Okay." And to get Barra set up and a couple of other people, and we head over to the Fader house. And what was really cool was Dave C. and Les and Gigi, they're setting up for their broadcast. They got a pretty pro setup, by the way. Good microphones and all that stuff. Pretty impressed, actually. So we go. And Dolan and Barra show up, and everybody's starting to gather. And I go in on Beyond the Strange. And I sit down. I take over the show. I apologize for that, guys, by the way. But I have to tell this story. And I tell everybody on their show about what happened the night before. And I go out and I tell Richard. And Richard goes, "What? I heard about all these sightings yesterday." And Richard missed it. I don't know how he did, but he did. And I'm trying to tell him about Mars moved, something that looked like Mars up there, and it moved and disappeared. And friggin' Barra goes, "Man, don't you realize that you're right next to, a Marine base with an air?" I said, "Barra, shut up." Shut up. That's it. "Well, but Barra, listen to me, bro. I'm the guy that debunks your stuff." We're at a party. Yeah, but I actually said it. So don't turn around and tell me, because you want to, and we have this back and forth all the time. So Barra, listen to me right now, brah. That's exactly what happened. It was not some aircraft. It wasn't this. Planets don't just move. "Well, what did it look? It looked like that." And I point to Mars, which, it's getting dark. I said, "It's right there, Mars." And it was right above me, and it moved that far and disappeared. Wasn't any marine anything, bro. It was out in the atmosphere. So I think he started to understand, right? Dolan is tripping. Richard quizzed me up and down and kept saying, because it gets better here, folks. Just listen to me. Dolan goes, man, I wish I would have seen something like that. I mean, and, I've been waiting, I've been waiting. So Dolan goes in and gets on Beyond the Strange, and he's talking to those guys and doing an interview, and he shares the story that he had with his daughter, the meteor UFO story that, he's told us about it on this show, and it was extraordinary, and he could never explain that one sighting, right? So this is what happens next. And the Fadernauts are getting together, and the group is getting bigger, and we're preparing to barbecue. And Holly Cook goes on the show. Mike Barra goes on Beyond the Strange. It was really cool, actually. And we're listening to the broadcast outside. We have speakers set up, and we're listening to them, and it was cool. And I got to, I was watching everybody's reaction in the chat room, and it was really cool to share this with everyone. I think we even didn't we do a live? Wasn't there a video feed that was going out too? Kind of remember that. So Javier Sandoval then shows up, and hello, Javier, love you, bro. Shows up with Lori McDonald, and he's got his night vision equipment with him. Yes, no joke. So we set everything up in front of them right there. Tripods, we got the binoculars, night vision, and it's a beautiful night, and they're turning the lights off, and we're looking up into the sky. And I go out there with Richard Dolan, and I pull up the, night vision, and I look, and we kind of see something, and I look, but how do I say this? Not with our own two eyes. And I look, and there it is. Another frigging orb right there. And it's moving from left to right, and it's hauling balls. I mean, it's so fast, right? And Richard's standing next to me. Let me see. So I hand the binoculars to him, and he looks, and Richard is speechless. Holy crap. What is this? Wait, Church, what are we looking at? Dude, you tell me. This isn't an airplane. And he's pulling him down, and he's looking back. And now he knows what we've all been talking about. And we follow this thing for maybe about a minute. It's moving so fast. And the one thing that Richard said is there's no aircraft. There's nothing that moves that fast. And it doesn't have wings. There's no rocket engine on it. There's nothing. And it's right there. You can't see it. And you're looking at it. There's no blinking lights. There's nothing. It's just a ball. And it's moving. And it's got a direction to it. Now, remember, listen to me. Satellites are one thing. ISS is moving around the planet and stuff. Most satellites are stationary, right? They're in a geostationary orbit. This is something that looks like it's inside of our atmosphere. It's not that high. And what Richard and I were looking at this moment, if it was me guessing, the way that the depth of field was against the stars and what was going on, I'm going to say that this was probably at 30,000 feet, not that high, like aircraft height, maybe 40,000 feet, maybe a little higher, right? But it's moving, hauling. It's Mach something, and it's silent. There's no sonic booms, and it's ripping. And Dolan's a smart guy. He knows his aircraft. He knows his spacecraft, and he's a logical guy, and he's never seen anything like this. And it's going. And then, as all of this is going on, guess who shows up for the Fadernauts? So we've got Dolan, we've got Barra, we've got Lori McDonald, we've got Holly Cook, we've got Mark Walsh, and we got the Fadernauts, and it's on. We've got Javier Sandoval, great guy, great researcher, and it was a perfect night for the Fadernauts just to hang out with all of this, and it was really kind of funny. Dave C. was in shock. But all of the Fadernauts to sit and just hang out with, all of their favorite people, right? And then David Wilcock shows up. That's right. And Corey Good. And Beth Leon. And I'd set it up and talk to Corey. Yeah, man, we'll be there. And they showed up. So they walk up as we're out there with all the night vision. And Wilcock walks up. And he's like, what is going on here? I was like, dude, we're doing it all tonight. And, look at this picture. Nurse Nancy and David Wilcock right there at the party. That's a great picture. That's a great picture. Can I retweet that? Well, you just tweeted it, so I'm going to retweet. There you go. I'm going to, hang on, folks. I got to do this in real time. Nancy and David. There you go, everybody. I'm going to do a retweet. And, so Wilcock shows up, and we are right in the middle of it. And so then right before David walks up, I mean, I think he came up in the middle of it, actually. That was the first sighting with Richard and I. And then we shift over to the other night sky, which would be on the north side. And we get this other, another craft. And this one was moving from right to left at about, the 10 o'clock position, not directly overhead, but down. And it arched from high to low, right? The other sightings that I saw, everything was going up and out of the atmosphere. This one started up high in the sky and just appeared, by the way. It just flashed on and then arched down and ended lower to the ground and disappeared. And, so that those two, and they were seeing stuff all over the place out there. But, and then that's when Wilcock and Corey and Beth stepped up. And I was just like, I turned to David. I take out the laser. I go, dude, it went from there down to here. And that was the start of the evening. So that was it, listen, my lovely audience, something is going on out there. Night vision binoculars are too cheap. They're worth every penny. I am definitely, Rita and I are going to, this is a cool picture here of me and Jose. Wow, what a great shot. Oh, Jose posted this. Oh, Jose, you're back in Florida. Very cool. That gets a retweet. Where are you guys getting these? Wow. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Twitter in real time. So there's something going on out there. I would suggest to anybody, if you can afford it, go and get yourself some night vision and start looking at the skies. Some of the stuff that is out there is satellites. It's us. It's man-made. I understand. And if you are looking at stuff that could be a drone, a private drone, or things like that, that's close to the earth, and you're going to see something close to the ground, you're going to be able to differentiate. Aircraft all have identifying lights on it. We've seen this our entire lives, red and blue and green lights on it that are identifying itself. So we're used to that, landing lights but when you see what we have witnessed this weekend, I mean, literally a glowing metallic ball. Some of these, I don't know if they were saucer shaped. I don't know if it could have been black triangles or squares. I don't know. Pyramids. I don't know. But my best judgment, and especially the green one that came off the mountain, that was a big metallic green ball. It's the best way I can explain it. But if you get night vision and you go out and you check this stuff out for yourself, you'll be able to see what is, us and terrestrial and what is not explainable. It's really, really going on. Now, before I continue, I want to say this to David and Corey and Beth and Dolan and I keep saying Richard Dolan, out of respect, sorry about that, and Mike Vera and Holly Cook, Lori McDonald, Mark Walsh, all of you hanging out with the Fadernauts and our family like you guys did all weekend was really, 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 really cool. It's really a fun thing to be a Fadernaut, and certainly this weekend. But I want to extend my thanks to all of you for that. So David comes in with Corey and just literally he sits down and just hangs out, and we get a circle together and we just start trading stories and talking and about our experiences. And the party could have gone on for a while, but to have David just sit there like that with our family and hang out, it was the absolute best. All right, I didn't open up the phone lines, 323-825-5045. If you were at Contact in the Desert, please call in. All right, 323-825-5045. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, it's Cortana.
Cortana, how are you?
I made it. I just got out of David Wilcock's intensive, and he finished it off with a beautiful meditation. It was just amazing, mind-blowing. The information that was shared in there, I definitely needed to hear every single word of it.
Did you get?
I was kind of dying, so I'll make this a little bit quick. But
no, that's okay. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
Not really. He has a crowd around him, and so I figure there will be another opportunity. I think these people.
Well, yeah. Now, Cortana.
Yeah.
How cool was that party that we had last night?
Oh my God! How cool were all of the parties?
I mean,
and then to cap it off with that one. Oh.
I mean, and so last night, did you get a chance to sit down with Richard Dolan or Mike Barra and
aside from managing the interview on our show?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And I mean, we were listening to Beyond the Strange. I'm like, oh my God. Wow, this is a really great show we did.
Yeah,
How did we pull this all together? I mean,
it was a lot of fun.
This was so fun. Fun. I'm so glad I came.
And did you get a chance to talk to? Oh, I'm sure you did. Did you talk to David and Corey last night and Beth?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. I mean, everybody was getting a chance to talk to them. So, and I was, of course, cooking some amazing heavenly bacon. So I nourished everybody. So I feel kind of proud of that.
I got to tell everybody right now. Cortana made Fader bacon all weekend. That was cooked in wine, and it was kind of funny to watch everybody put it in their mouth for the first time and go, oh.
Bit of a foodgasm right there.
Yeah, mouthgasm, and
it's high vibrational bacon.
But what a great party last night. Night vision and I want to tell you.
Yeah, the night vision, oh my God.
and to have I just really want to say to have the researchers and authors that we all know and love to take the time to come on out and hang out with us like they did last night was just
it was
totally
amazing,
cool.
And I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for putting on some really good events for everybody. It was just a perfect night. So you're still there?
Yeah. We just got out of the David Wilcock intensive, which was originally supposed to be 3 hours. We pushed it off to 4, and it all concluded with this just beautiful meditation that was probably about 15 to Oh, okay. Bye.
What's that?
I don't know who that was, but like they hugged me and gave me a kiss on the cheek and said, "Bless you, darling." Just now in Contact in the Desert.
That's what
As I'm talking.
Thank you so much, Cortana, and have safe travels back home, and say bye to everybody for us, or hello, okay?
Hello and bye, and I'll hug everyone, and I'm sending you some good vibes too. You know, I love all the Fader nuts, and I wish you all. Well, there will be one day we will all be in one place to celebrate this family.
Thank you so much, Cortana. Safe travels back.
All right, goodbye.
That's what I'm talking about. It was just that kind of weekend out there, Contact in the Desert. So I've opened up the phone lines. If you were there, call in 323-825-5045. I want to hear from the Fadernauts that were in Contact in the Desert. And if you saw any of the stuff in the sky, give me a call, 323-825-5045. So the party was perfect yesterday and went late into the night, and we had to eventually wrap it up. But I want to say this. So David, really quick before I head to the break, David brought his friend with him, Beth Leon, last night, and she's going to be on the show with us next week. And she sat down with us. I don't want to get into the details, but she sat down with us and started sharing with us her information and her research. And I got to tell you, I've never, the party was so loud and so raucous up to that point. And she sits down and starts talking, and it was dead silence. You could hear a pin drop. And first off, she doesn't talk loudly. But it was pretty interesting. I want to go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Fran.
Fran, are you back home?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Before I even went home, I had to stop at the bar. So I'm late tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Everybody there was expecting me to show up and tell them all about where I went.
Was that the most amazing weekend ever?
You bet your ass. Oh, can I say that online?
Yeah, you can
or
go
over
there.
The phone?
Yeah, you can go there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And
I have a plan though for next year.
And what's that?
And it's a secret. No, it's a secret.
Okay, all right. Man, Fran, I can't believe we just had breakfast with you a few hours ago and you made it all the way back to Arizona?
Yeah, I've been back here since about 6 o'clock this evening.
Okay, all right. Did you see, before we head to break, Fran, I don't want to cut you short, did you see anything in the skies?
I was looking in the opposite direction of you guys. When I got a hold of the night vision binoculars,
yes,
all of yous were looking in one direction. So I turned around and looked in the opposite. I saw some weird star formations, but no, I didn't see any movement, nothing real significant. But I thought, hey, if you're all looking over there, might be misdirection.
Right.
Maybe I should look in the other direction.
Right.
But nothing. But nothing compares to your little poof guy that moved and then went El Disapiro.
Well, and this is the thing. I'm sharing the story of what I saw, but there were hundreds that were standing there when that happened. I wasn't the only one. I mean, It happened in front of all of us. But yeah, it was that was a life-changing event right there. So, hey, Fran, I'm glad you made it back safe, and thank you so much.
I'm home safe and sound.
The last 4 days with you have been incredible. Thank you so much, Fran.
It was so much fun. I loved it. Every minute.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Fran.
You betcha.
And Fran, we just had breakfast with her in the desert, and she already made it back to Sedona. So there you go. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls next when I come back. This is Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
Listen to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
What's up, Fadernauts? Studio Dome loves Fade to Black and the F2B audience so much that they have put together the ultimate stereo Bluetooth system. They've done it just for you. Man, check this out. The Studio Dome SBB2 stereo system is here. It's featuring 2 Studio Boombox 2 SBB2 wireless Bluetooth speakers, packed in its own custom hardshell case. This Studio Dome system features the very latest in stereo Bluetooth technology. The 2 full-range boomboxes are in true wireless stereo. You've got to hear this. It's amazing. It's just $129 and use the promo code JCRTWS and you'll also get free shipping. It's simple. Just go to JimmyChurchRadio.com, click on the Studio Dome banner. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is Kristen, Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, I'm back. Okay. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We're recapping the Contact in the Desert weekend, and these pictures are getting posted right now on Twitter. And I swear, I don't remember these pics, but I guess I was showing off my Panama tattoo, which I never do, by the way, ever. And these were taken from multiple angles when I did this. You guys are crazy. I have no idea. I do not remember doing this. That is too many shots into the evening that I actually did that. Unbelievable. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? It's Dave C.
Dave C. Did you have a good weekend?
Oh, man, phenomenal. I mean, I can't even describe it. It's an experience that everyone needs to experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. The Fadernauts are a lucky group of kids. That's all I have to say.
Spoiled. You're spoiled, man.
I am so glad to be part of all of this. And Rita, and I or just we just feel just it's just humbling, but it was just so fun to be able to be part of your experience.
Oh, it's very humbling. Yesterday was so humbling. Just seeing all the big names rolling in like that into the Vader house, man. I mean, Dolan comes in, and Barr comes in, Holly Cook comes in. I mean, just you and Rita. It was an amazing evening. I mean, yesterday was just fantastic. I just want to say thanks to you and Rita again, and I just know that without you guys, none of this would be possible. So I want to say thanks again.
What was really cool? There was another part of this that I'll express it right now for everybody, but to have Richard and Barra and Wilcock and Holly and Lori McDonald and Corey Good to witness for themselves what the Fadernauts are all about. Now, look, they come on the show all the time, and they know what Twitter is like, and they know who the Fadernauts are. They do. But for me to have them experience you guys like that, they get it. Now they fully get it. At the end of the night last night, when I was walking Wilcock and Corey Good and Beth out to their cars, Wilcock is just like, dude, that's amazing. They're so cool and they're so smart. And it was just that, man, church, the Fadernauts rule. That's what he said on the way to the car. So you guys need to understand that. For me to watch them go through that experience was very, 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 very cool, because they have tasted what the Fadernaut experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't get into much on that conversation, but I know the whole time the conversations were deep, not just amongst each other, but the people that came to visit, like David and like Corey. I'm sure they got a lot out of everybody that was there. All the Fadernauts, they're probably like, where are these guys coming from?
Right.
Look at what they know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And it's just it's just an amazing bunch, and we are a lucky, spoiled bunch, and it's awesome, and you could tell I'm totally fried.
Hey, Dave, thank you. Okay. And listen, I've got all these calls lined up here, man. So I don't want to cut you off. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that I love you. And it was just a great weekend, man. And just thank you for making it so special for all of us. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Dave. That's Dave C. Beyond the Strange. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy. How you doing, man? It's Jose.
Hey, Jose. Did you have the most amazing weekend ever?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. It was great. I'm still here.
Oh, you're still? I thought you left.
No, I left when you saw me leaving was because I was going into the park to catch the Milky Way and stuff.
That's so
why
you're still there.
Then I saw the pictures. I'm like, shit. Oh, sorry. I should have tried to stay with you guys and then headed out to the park.
Yeah,
because I was in the park till 3:00 in the morning.
Did you see
pictures of the night sky and stuff?
Did you guys see anything else?
Jimmy, my daughter actually saw some weird lights flashing and stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to be completely honest with you, Jimmy. When you're out there by yourself, you're in the wilderness, you hiked a little bit, you don't really want, I don't want to see that stuff, especially when I'm with my daughter. So I kind of acknowledged it. I'm being honest. I kind of acknowledged it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Right.
But look at here. Look, the Milky Way's over here,
Right.
So, and it wasn't, it was far, so it could have been maybe a plane, but it was almost like some weird lights blinking in a pattern, like they were making like shapes and stuff. It was very, very weird, and then it kind of just disappeared, so not really sure what to make of that,
Man,
but
hey, Jose, you have the most beautiful daughter ever, and you are a great dad, and it was really cool meeting her, and also I can't wait to see your images, because I know that they're going to be extraordinary. So get those files to me as soon as you can. Get them to Rita.
Yeah.
And
I got you, man. I'm working on them. I just put a couple of you and Clyde Lewis on Twitter just now. But I gotta get, when I get back to Florida, I'll work on them, and I'll get you the true file completely, with high megapixel, and you know how it is.
Yep,
I'll
I
send
do.
some of my Milky Way stuff, man. I really got some nice Milky Way stuff out here last night, so I'm really excited. So I'll send you that stuff too, so you guys can see it.
And you and your daughter have a safe trip back to Florida. Okay.
We will, man. Hey, I want to thank you very much for giving us the opportunity once again to make it out there, man. It's a blast. You just can't explain to be there with all the Fadernauts, with all the guests that you have on the show usually. It's just an exciting thing, and it's one thing to hear them on the show, and it's another thing to completely see them doing the presentation. So it's a really awesome experience. I really appreciate you guys giving us that opportunity.
Thank you, Jose.
I want to let you know, man.
Thank you, Jose.
All right. You have a good night, okay? Thank you
too,
very much.
brother. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Jose Torres. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. You're live. You are live. 3, 2, 1. Phone lines are open. 323-825-5045. 323-825-5045. I want to see what's Jose talking about here. Oh, look at that. Dang. That's a crazily good picture. He has got a really good camera. That's going to get a retweet. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Anna.
Hey, Anna. How I thank you, young lady.
No worries. It's all cool. Enjoying listening to the show live, and I thought this would be just about the only opportunity living on the East Coast and working so early in the morning.
Right.
But I get to call and say hi to everybody.
So Anna, everybody, now 2 years in a row now, Anna has changed lives, right? So last year was cool enough. So this year, Anna, as we pulled up to when we first pulled in, Anna was the first Fadernaut that we saw, right? And when we get there, and that was all cool, hugs and all that stuff. But it was Anna that sent us the text. UFOs are everywhere, man. You got to get to the lookout. It was her text.
It was a phone call, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought it was a text. It doesn't. Yeah, does it matter? No, it does not. So, Anna, what did you see? You were there, right? Now, you were there for the first wave of I want to say UFOs. I want to say the Loving Light show. You were there for that. What did you see?
2 blue orbs coming away from the top of the mountains over from the west. And they kind of picked up speed like they were coming at us. And then they turned away from us and met some kind of amber orb and created some sort of triangular figuration, and then continued off the way they were going over to the other mountains straight across the valley. And that's when it was so crazy. And I said, I have to call Rita. And that's when I called you, because I said, this is incredible. But I didn't think it would last so little. I mean, I was hoping that they'd stick around and that you guys could come out and see this stuff. But then everything else continued to happen.
I can't. I'm so glad that you called in, because I've tried to put into words what happened to us, to everybody. There was 150 people up there on the lookout, and
yep.
And no telling how many people were doing the same thing back at the compound itself. There's thousands of people that were there that were looking up in the sky and seeing this. But how extraordinary was that to have this, just like for us, this light, they were there, they were saying hello. What, how do you put that into words?
Nothing. You're just freaked out. You're just like, what is this? This is not from here, and this is like freaking your mind out is what it is.
Freaking your mind out. That's exactly what happened to me. I mean, I still can't. And I got to thank you. If you hadn't have called us, could you imagine if we would have missed that? I would have been angry.
Well, I'm glad she picked up, and I'm glad you guys are out there. And I'm listening to the show now live. I hardly ever do this. And I'm so bummed that I'm so lame to think I have to go to bed to wake up for conferences when you guys are hanging out with the people that are speaking, and I miss all this. It's like, man, I wanted to shoot myself right now.
Well, and Anna, tell me, after we left, we were there for what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes with you guys? And,
right.
and we had to leave. Otherwise, I would have stayed there until I would have been the last person to leave if we could have. But after we left, did that light show, did it continue? Was it just crazy?
No, I didn't really stay there. I went off to either the movie or to see someone else speak or walk around or something. But, other than shooting stars, I really didn't see that kind of activity anywhere else in the nighttime skies.
Right. Well, it was extraordinary while we were there, and I just
totally.
I've got to thank you for that. That was life changing. And is that you must feel the same as me? I mean, that's just you can't explain it, and it's like a life change. Was it that way for you too?
It sure was.
Yeah, just incredible. And I want to thank you for thinking of us and calling us and making that happen. So how was the rest of your weekend? Was that the most incredible weekend ever?
Yes. They just keep getting better and better. That's my third one. And, I always think I'm going to go repeat and do the same thing. And then it's always something new, and the different opinions of the audience even, that they're changing and they're waking up to this new information and how important it all is. It's just, and the people everybody is just so cool and warm, and all the conversations you hear all over the place. Yeah, something everybody needs to experience. It's really cool.
Yeah. And what's funny is hearing you say this. It's it's what I say. We sound like we're repeating ourselves, but you know what I mean. But if you've never been there, then you don't know. And what you need to do is get there and experience it for yourself. That this weekend was man. I mean, I don't know what to say. It was it was unbelievable.
You go back to your normal life, and you're definitely changed. You experience something that they have no concept of, and you can hardly even express it good enough for them to understand it. But you definitely go back to whatever you're doing, a changed person, and enlightened, and one way or the other.
And what was funny, I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, but, I came back after not watching TV for 5 days, Rita and I.
Yep.
And I turn on the TV, and CNN is blaring about Trump and Hillary, and I'm like, you guys, this isn't even important. This is just retarded. It's just dumb. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I know. I did hear that, and I'm not about news, but I'm about weather. So I turn on the Weather Channel, and there's a damn tropical storm going to Florida. And I'm usually up to date on when it's forming, what it's doing, where it's moving, when it started. And here I am. I don't even know the first thing about this thing, and it just shows me how out of touch I am from the rest of everything.
There is so much more out there that is so important, and God, CNN just really put it into perspective for me today. I did not care. It just sounded so, and they're there trying to hype this up like this is news. It's stupid. It's not even important. Can you imagine if Wolf Blitzer or one of those dudes was out there this weekend? You think that they would come back to CNN and talk about what they're talking about? They would not. They would be stunned.
They wouldn't be loud.
Right. It's just stunning. Hey, Anna, thank you for everything that you have done for us. And I'm just saying this publicly right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right?
All right. Love to all the Fader Knots. Good night.
Love coming back to you, and have a safe trip back to Florida.
Thank you.
That is Anna, and she's the one that did it for us. And just thank you. Man, I forgot what I was. Oh, you know what was really cool? I'm gonna float my own boat right now. You know what was really cool is all of the authors, all of the researchers, and everybody that was at the top of the hill that was there. And Clyde Lewis his booth was right in front of us. Everybody that was up there got to see the Fadernauts and what Fade to Black is all about. They got to really, really, really witness that. There's nobody else there, not one, that shows up with a force and a fan base and a family like we did at Contact in the Desert. That was absolutely incredible for everybody there. Now, also, I'm going to say this before we wrap tonight. So we over at the Nori birthday bash. So we're sitting there, and Paul Andrews, thank you, Paul, for everything. But Paul gets up on the microphone at the beginning, the very beginning, and he says, to pull off this event, I've got to thank a few people. I've got to thank my partner, Victoria. I've got to, thank, and he goes, and Jimmy Church and his incredible wife, Rita, stand up. And Rita, who was not into this, not into the public thing at all, was forced into standing up and getting a round of applause from about 400 people in that hall. And she deserved every last clap, hoop, and holler that she got. And I got to tell you, she did not want to stand up, but she deserved what she got there. And Paul, thank you for doing that. But that was pretty dang cool to see my wife stand up and get that appreciation that she so much deserves. So there you go. I said it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black.
Jimmy, it's Dan.
Hey, Dan, how are you, man? How you doing?
Dude, we're doing one last shindig at the Joshua Tree Saloon. We're listening to you. We got the studio dome set up on the patio. We got the show going, and we're just winding down. We just picked up Empress Cortana and Anya from the Wilcock Intensive that went like 2 hours, like a legitimate 2 hours over the scheduled end date. He took everybody on this awesome meditation through space, which you'll hear more about, but it sounded fascinating. But yeah, man, what a weekend! We're doing party number 5 tonight, I guess.
Yeah, man. Hey, is there a waitress or somebody from Joshua Tree listening to this from the saloon?
No, I walked around to the side. We're sitting out in that front little area. Yeah.
Okay, because, man, our guy that took care of us the first night, man, what was his name? It doesn't matter. We had him running all over the place that night, but he got tipped pretty well. I think we reached out and touched him with $200. So
yeah, no doubt.
So he was, but we worked him to death, and if he was there, I'd thank him right now. But yeah, what an incredible weekend.
We got Gigi Rabbit going to check in here too. I'm going to pass it over to him.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Make it Gigi.
Jimmy, my illegitimate father.
Gigi Rabbit. Man. How was your weekend? Was that off the hook?
Dude, like last year was seriously, I couldn't imagine it being any better than that. But this year was, in all aspects, 10,000 times more cool.
You're right.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, how could last year be topped, right? Seriously. And I cannot believe the weekend that was contact in the desert with the sightings and the UFO activity overhead for everybody to see and witness, and the get-togethers that we had, and the sharing of the knowledge, and all of the presenters, and it was just man, what a weekend!
It really was unbelievable. We all grow old and get Alzheimer's. This is going to be the one thing that we still remember, our experiences like these.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're the man. You're the one that really made this as awesome as it was. You're the one that got us all out here. And also, thank you for making our broadcast last night what it was. That obviously wouldn't have been as rad as it was for you. So
you're
all-encompassingly, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Gigi, you don't have to do that. And no, actually, it's Rita and I thanking you and all of the Fadernauts, because and look, the audience is listening to this show, and there are some rolling their eyes, and they're going, Matt, you know what? You don't understand that this family, this Fadernaut family, for them to converge in such huge numbers. I have no idea, how many Fadernauts were there. I don't. Neither do you. But to see everybody get together and talk as family and just hang out like that, it was, for me to sit back with Rita and to witness this was just so it's thank you. But man, what a weekend! What a weekend! It had it all, man. It had we had it all, didn't we?
We really did. I can't even imagine how this could have been better. I'm speechless. And all these faders that are listening that could make it, you just have to come out here next year. It's that simple. You have to be here.
Hey, Gigi, thank you for being the last phone call tonight. All right? And hand it back to Dan. I got 40 seconds.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Dan, okay, we got to do this quick. We're wrapping.
Ahoy.
Okay, Dan, thank you. Thank you for putting the parties together with Cortana and Dave and Gigi and everything else. So just thank you.
So welcome, brother. It was amazing. All you guys there, everybody pitched in, everybody did their part, and we were just thrilled to have everybody there. Can't wait to do it again next time.
I don't know how we're going to top it. I don't know.
That's what Rita was saying. She said the bar just keeps going a notch higher every year, and yeah, we're gonna have to. I think she said, "What's next year? Fireworks?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely mass abduction. So there. You go.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, safe travels back to Colorado, man, and thank you for everything that you did for us this weekend. Thank you, brother.
No problem. See ya.
That's Dan Zukowski, Gigi Rabbit, popping in at the end of the show. Thank you so much. And for everybody out there listening right now, thank you for allowing me to share our experience this weekend. And I'll say it again. The events of the night sky out there is going to be talked about for a long time to come. It really happened. It was incredible. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Paul, Mark D. Kovar, LJ3, Renee, Mark Dunbar, Jonas. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Fady by Dale. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Faded Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA The Planet. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Thank you for allowing me to share with you. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2016 by Faded Black and the Game Changer Network. Cannot be broadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Faded Black or the Game Changer Network. Tomorrow night, right here, James Gilliland, ECITD. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.